I'll tell you a story from the book. I learned this the hard way in my life because I didn't know. I thought that this was love. I thought that me saving all the people, that me trying to be of service to everybody, even if I didn't know you, I thought that was the way to be in the world. And one of my sisters was in a bad situation with a guy who was abusive, and she was actively alcoholic at the time, and he was doing crack, and they lived in a house in the woods without running water and no electricity. Okay, you don't need to embellish that story because it's already just a domestic nightmare. So I was talking to my therapist, and I was bawling my eyes out just all the time about it. Like I couldn't, for me, it was endlessly a 5-alarm fire of like, I have to get her out of there. I have to do something. And finally, my therapist, Bev, said, Terri, let me ask you something. Because I went in and I was crying and I was like, what am I going to do? I've done everything. And she said, Terri, let me ask you something. What makes you think you know what your sister needs to learn in this lifetime?
Ooh, that's good.
And I was like,
wow.
I said, well, can we agree that she doesn't need to learn it with a crackhead in the woods without running water? And she said, no, because I'm not God, Terri. I don't know how she needs to learn it. Yeah. But do you know what's happening with you? And I said, no. Can you obviously clue me in? Because I don't know. And she said, you've worked really hard to have a harmonious life. And your sister's life, being a dumpster fire, is really messing with that peace. And you want to go back to being peaceful. You want your pain to end. You want to fix her so your pain will end. And anyway, she helped me learn that I needed to set boundaries, and I did. And I said to my sister, I can't listen to you talk about this abusive guy. I love you, but if you ever want to get out, I'm still your person. And like 9 months later, she called and said, are you still my person? And I said, yeah, I'm getting in my car. She got out, she got sober. And instead of it being Terri being the hero of Jenna's story, she got to be the hero of her own story.
Of her own, wow.
And it's what we rob people of,
Yeah. So I just want to reiterate something because you're blowing my mind right now. And this is something I just recently, like weeks ago, got a hold of, is that everybody is on their own soul's journey. I'm just gonna call it that because I am starting to see that people are here to learn different lessons than perhaps I'm here to learn. So you have to go to a place that you understand potentially everybody's on their own path. Like that belief, I don't think everybody understands that. It has to start with that.
Yes.
And then the second part is if I think about that with my kids, if I think about that with my friends, if I think about that with my husband, the hardest part for me is to watch them not know that. Like they're in their own suffering. And I'm over here saying, well, your soul has got a journey that it's on. It's not the journey that I'm on. My soul's on a different journey. And then sort of to pull my energy away and to allow their suffering to continue. Ooh, Terri, like that is so hard to do. It's almost like a car crash that I have to look away from because I just watch all the ways they keep perpetuating their suffering. Where can I put my mind so that I can create peace, even in the understanding that I'm just going to back away? Like with your sister is a beautiful example. Like, where did you have to put your mind as you watched her stumble through that year process?
My therapist, Bev, helped me see how presumptuous it was for me to think that I knew. And that how presumptuous it was for me to sort of kind of kick her out of the driver's seat of her own life, even if I felt like she was driving badly, right? And I'm not talking about if someone is, listen, if someone's going to die, like I'm not talking about not doing an intervention, but that's not what we're talking about, Mindy, most of the time, right? What we're talking about most of the time is the day-to-day ways that we don't want people to falter, that we don't want our best friend to marry the jerk, that we don't want our adult child to get fired from the job, even though they didn't go to work and they want you, so you lie about their sickness or whatever it is. Like your heart can be in the right place, but it's not your job. And really, we get in the way of people's evolution when we kick them out of the driver's seat and we jump into the driver's seat of their life. And we have to be humbled by or honest with ourselves, with what is motivating us. It is our own discomfort. When you learn to ask expansive questions, what you're saying is, hey, I want to know you. Right? We don't know the people in our lives. When we're endlessly managing the shit out of the people in our lives, we're not letting ourselves get to know them. We are too busy controlling them, because this is an aspect of codependency, any variety, that it is a covert or overt bid to control the outcomes of others.
To make yourself feel better, to make yourself feel happy.
Yes. Ooh, pain. Pain. That's painful, right?
It's so much painful, because then you're like, over here you control one, you control the other, and you're like, okay, everybody's good right now. And then the next thing you know, one of them goes off, and then it's so seductive. So, what I've recently come to realize is that you're only doing it so that I can be happy. So it's actually not coming from the right intention.
Correct.
I need them to be happy so I can be happy. And that is like a dog chasing its tail.